So apparently Nintendo does not want to do an official Nintendo competitive pro gaming league. That means that they do not want to create a professional league of their Super Smash Brothers line, whatever professional league they have. They just don't want to do it. And this comes with the fact that not too long ago, one of the top Super Smash Brothers players in the world said that Nintendo sufficiently is not supporting the scene enough, that they are not doing everything they can to support the professional league. Now, going to E3, apparently, the Nintendo president of America actually saw this player's speech, and this is what he had to say. He says that he just loves the passion of Super Smash Bros. Fans, and that to pretty much answer his question, he says that Nintendo just doesn't want to do an official league, that he doesn't really understand what the player wants Nintendo to actually do. And apparently, the guy pretty much put a checklist out there of what he feels Nintendo should do. And he says that Nintendo should officially support the competitive pro scenes, that they should do their own circuit, much like what Capcom does and much like what Call of Duty does. He says that the larger audience would give massive exposure and would actually give casual gamers and casual fans that don't really know about the competitive scene more ideas, and it will enlighten them with the competitive scene. And he says that a worldwide circuit will also be huge financially for Nintendo as well. And he goes on to saying that, his favorite game, Super Smash Bros. Melee, should also be ported onto the Switch. And that this whole entire league will open brand new doors for Nintendo, like it's doing with all the other competitive pro scenes, like what Capcom doing and what Call of Duty is doing. And Nintendo just once again said flat out that they are not interested in doing a professional league. He says that the competitive professional league is community oriented. It's enabling the community to drive it forward. They have relationships, obviously, with Evo and Battlefly. But other than that, they want to keep it at a grassroots level. I agree with them, honestly. I agree with Nintendo. They acknowledge the professional competitive league. They acknowledge it, but it shouldn't be their responsibility to create an official league. I mean, if you look at all of the competitive leagues out there, they're all fan base oriented. They're all community oriented, and they're doing such a fantastic job because of the fact that they are keeping it as far away from the corporate people as possible. Because once you get corporate people involved, it just becomes of how can we make money, and it's not okay. How can we create the best spectacle product we can, and how can we bring it to the masses? It becomes a gigantic money pit. I mean, just look at the old days of competitive gaming. I mean, they weren't funded by gigantic corporations. Actually, Nintendo backed up some of them, Sega backed up some of them, but it was mostly fan oriented. And Nintendo has the right philosophy, at least in this part, to keep it that way, to keep it more community and less corporate. Because once you get corporate involved, it becomes a way of how can the investors, how can corporate get their money back, or how can they make more money, and it becomes less about the game. One of the things also, this competitive player, it really sounds like he's just ranting about his favorite Super Smash Bros. Game not being officially supported, but it's just how it works. Consoles and developers, eventually they want you to move on to their newer products. It's financially, it's harder and harder once a game is not selling as much, once the consoles stop being produced, to basically make that game relevant. It becomes harder and actually harder. And it just goes down to the fact that you just can't please everybody. I think Nintendo is doing a great job by supporting the pro leagues, but not actively doing their own league, because of the fact that it should still be community oriented and it should always stay that way. Now, once again, guys, what do you think? Do you think Nintendo's doing the right idea by just, donating a few dollars to their leagues and leaving it up to the fan base? Do you think Nintendo should have their own league? Comment below, guys. I love to hear about your comments. Thank you, everybody that comments on my videos. I love interacting with you guys. I just love, interacting with fans and stuff like that. So once again, guys, comment below. And as always, have an awesome day.